Welcome back. You know what? That wasn't too bad. At some point, I'm going to realize that this whole podcasting thing isn't working out, and I'm going to need to fall back on another talent. So I'm just going to start singing a little bit every couple episodes just to see if maybe that gets me discovered, because this whole talking thing, we've been at this for a year, and as much as I have enjoyed it and will continue to do that, it's not really doing much for the old bank account, the old direct deposit, or so I've been told. So I am just going to cross my fingers that maybe if I start featuring some other talents on this show, maybe that will get the people to start listening. So, I don't know. Fingers crossed. How's everybody doing? I hope everyone has had a great week, or at least not a bad week. Not every week can be the best week ever. So I hope you had a mediocre at worst week. I'm sitting here in what I think to be as the first day of fall. Yesterday I was sweating pretty hard because it was definitely summer, but then I woke up today to the sweet sound of, if anyone doesn't know how to interpret that, that would be the sweet sound of rain. The rain, let the rain fall down. It's coming. The rain is coming. And actually, just speaking of sweet sounds, I do just want to mention, I am in my very fancy podcast studio. They're doing actually construction on it. They're building more microphones and more chairs and more booths for me. So you might hear some chainsaw, some whatever is happening around me. I wish I could do something about it. I asked them to maybe come at a later time, not when I'm recording the podcast, but they said, listen, building your new dream studio is going to take 24/7. 24 minutes of the next 7 hours. So this is what we're doing. So apologies for the noise. But yeah, I'm sitting here on the first day of fall because that's what it means when it starts raining in the summer. It means it's just fall. We're going to skip right past the last kind of month of April, is August, not April. I actually feel bad for August because I feel like July 31st happens, and then people are like, oh my gosh, summer's over, I can't believe it. Now, I think one explanation for that is in a lot of places, and by a lot of places, I mean the only place I know for sure that does this is the States. In the States, a lot of the states or whatever go back to school maybe toward the end of August, but still in August, or April if you're me, but still in August. So we start getting the back to school commercials. We start getting the discount sales at Staples and Walmart and all of that crap. So if you are someone that is going back to school, I'm so sorry that you have to be subjected to the back to school sale signs, but especially so early on in August, because you really at least here in Canada, you don't start till at least September for most schools, universities, whatever. I guess certain programs are different, but you know what I mean? You start after Labor Day. So it's August 1st, you still have a whole month. That's only half of summer is done, and we've written it off. So I really feel like we need to start reclaiming August. That's still a full month. Now, while I endorse the reclamation of August, I'm actually not going to participate in reclaiming August because I'm very much ready for fall. So I know it might be a bit contradictory, but for the rest of the episode, I'm going to talk about how I want it to be fall. But I think if you have to go back to school, if you have to go back to work in September, if you are dreading September, end of summer, just know that you still have a lot of summer, but maybe this isn't the episode for you because I'm going to be talking a lot about fall. So whatever, if you need to check out of this episode because it's a bit too close to home, I understand, and we'll catch you on the next one. Now, luckily, no one listens to this, so I don't have to worry about losing listeners by saying that because I didn't have them in the first place. But yes, on to fall. I am in plaid. Check. I am drinking my gas station coffee, hot coffee. Check. just a couple days ago, just on this past Sunday, I bought a bag of candy corn. Check. And it wasn't any just random, regular candy corn. It was autumn mix. So it was regular candy corn with chocolate candy corn. And then these little, like, I think they're called, like, marshmallow pumpkins. But they're not, like, marshmallow like you think of a marshmallow. Like, not those disgusting banana-flavored marshmallows that I actually quite enjoy. They're like, it's like candy corn, but in a pumpkin shape. So that, if that isn't exciting, I don't know what is. We are so close to fall. In fact, so close that I'm going to pretend that it's already here. So that's very exciting. The temperature is going down. I'm excited to start making soup again. I would love to go to a pumpkin patch. If anyone will go with me to a pumpkin patch, please let me know. I haven't been in a few years, and I'm not really interested in, like, the whole thing of the pumpkin patch. I know you're supposed to go and, like, pet goats or whatever. I don't really care about that. I think that we should probably just leave the goats alone. But I would like to go and maybe drink, like a pumpkin hot chocolate, or like a maybe eat like a waffle or something with, like, pumpkin puree, or just do, like, the cinnamon challenge but with pumpkin spice. You know what confuses me? Which is a lot of things. But what is confusing me in this moment, the pumpkin spice, like, spice that you buy from the spice aisle. Say spice one more time. Spice. It doesn't taste like pumpkin. It tastes like the spices of a pumpkin pie, right? There's no pumpkin in that. It's called pumpkin. Oh no, I think it's even called pumpkin pie spice. So it's like, who decided that needed to go in a pumpkin pie? Because it doesn't taste like pumpkin. It's like my whole thing with cucumbers and how we call everything dill pickle flavored, but, like, dill pickle chips taste like dill flavored chips. They don't taste like pickle. And the same thing that makes a cucumber a pickle is what makes these chips dill pickle flavored, but it doesn't taste like a pickle. It tastes like dill. And the world could be separated into two categories. One category, the people that understood that last sentence. One category, which I would figure to be the majority of people, the people that did not understand that sentence. Again, no one listens to this, so I don't have to worry about distinguishing the difference between those two and, like, kind of bridging the gap between those two groups of people, because neither of those people are listening, because nobody listens to this podcast, because nobody asked for this. Truly, not that I wasn't super proud of the name in the beginning, but it really is the best. It, like, encompasses everything. Like, nobody's listening, but also nobody asked for this. So anyway, let's get back to the fall theme, because, you know, most episodes are kind of random. I'm really going to try and stick to the fall theme in this, or at least this is an anticipatory fall episode. Someone remind me to name the podcast that. An anticipatory fall episode. As I said, we got the plaid, we got the gas station coffee, we got the ridicule from the gas station. There's the employee at the gas station who was at the checkout, who, took my money. Not like took, like stole, like I offered it up to buy the coffee, but they're like, you're getting a hot coffee in this weather? And okay, had it been any other day in August, I would have understood. It's usually pretty hot. As I was saying, 24 hours ago, I was sweating because it was too hot. But it was like actually pouring rain when I was buying this coffee, so I don't know what was so crazy about me getting a hot coffee in the rain. Like the employee at the gas station was like, oh, you really need a hot coffee in this weather? And I was like, and the insinuation was like, it's too hot. But I'm sorry, my dude. It was literally pouring rain when you had told me that. So, like, what? But anyway, I got it. I laughed. I just gave him a laugh. I said, yeah, haha, LOL. And I was actually kind of proud of myself because ever since, and I talked about this a few weeks ago, but ever since the news broke that Diet Coke, or whatever the ingredient is that makes all these diet sweeteners or diet sodas sweet, is bad for you ever since they released that information, which is information I for sure knew before they released it, but just for some reason seeing it come up on my Apple News app thing, it just made it more real. Ever since that came out, I've been only having like 1 or 2 Diet Cokes a week. So like I'm going to be completely honest. I went into that, it wasn't a 7-Eleven, it was like a Circle K. I went into that Circle K expecting to get a Diet Coke, and I walked out with a hot coffee. Now, part of the reason I walked out with a hot coffee was because I noticed they had like a self-serve coffee bar. And I love a self-serve anything. I think it's really fun, especially like at a hotel when you can go for the free breakfast and they have it all like spread out. There's bagels, there's a toaster, there's that machine that dispenses pancake batter that's probably been in there since the 90s. Like that whole setup is something that I want to participate in. So they did not have pumpkin spice syrup in there yet, which actually, before I forget, I can just do this now. I want to go on Amazon and see if I can purchase pumpkin spice syrup. There's a time in my life where I was scared to buy food on Amazon because it just didn't feel right. Like, I don't know, to be buying something that comes in an envelope that's like being shipped and all of that. Like, it didn't feel right to me. And now I'm at the point where I'm fully like buying chips off of Amazon and like crunchy, like crunched up, like messed up, like the person, like the delivery driver, like just threw it at me, not at me, but like at the door, and it went all crunchy. I'm buying it, and you know what? I don't care. You know who actually randomly sells a lot of syrups is Winners. For anyone that doesn't know, Winners is like a Marshall's, which is like a Ross. It's like a step up from, what would be the hierarchy? Okay, I think it goes TJ Maxx, which I just learned in the UK, they call it TK Maxx. Like, what the hell's the difference? But okay, TK Maxx. Then I would say it goes Marshall's, then Winners, and then Ross. No. Was it TK Maxx? Yeah, I think TK Maxx, and then like it's like not JC Penney, it's like JK Penney or something, JK Rowling, I don't know. I love when there are chains that they have one name in one country or region and then they just decided to change it for another country, but it's like close enough. I'm just going to TK Maxx. Yeah, it's called TK Maxx. It's the exact same store, and it's called TK Maxx. And I don't think we have a TJ or TK Maxx in Canada. But if we do, I would like to officially put forth a petition that I would like it to have a new name. So T something Max, maybe TC Max, TT Max, TI Max, TP Max, Toilet Paper Max, HBO Max. You know, just something. Just spice it up. I have to say, while, you know, this transition into fall is very exciting for me, I'm a little bit hesitant to be celebrating the start of the worst, like 2 to 3, maybe 4, maybe a month of the worst weather that is possible, which is like that in-between weather where it might start raining in 2 minutes, but like it could also be hot, but then it could also be cloudy, and then you could probably get away with wearing shorts, but just to be classy and to be safe, I'm going to wear pants, but then I start sweating because it was raining when I left the house, but when I got to work, it was 24 degrees, and then sometimes it does both at the same time, so it's like so it's like 20 degrees but pouring, so it's like, how do I dress for this? Basically, it's the reverse problem that I was complaining about 4 months ago of when it was spring going into summer. Basically, what I'm saying is, in where I live, we get about 2 weeks of the weather that is associated with that season, and then we get 6 weeks on both sides of like the transitional weather where like it could be spring or it could be summer, or it could be summer or it could be fall, or everything at once, or neither. So, but anyway, back to things I enjoy about fall. What I enjoy now about fall is I do not have to go back to school, so there's no reason for me to like push it off or be like, why does fall happen? You know, why on God's green earth does this season have to exist? But the best reason for fall, obviously pumpkin spice, but the Dairy Queen pumpkin pie blizzard, whenever that comes back, I'm in. I'll be there every day. It is a blizzard, so obviously like the soft serve ice cream. Oh, speaking of soft serve ice cream, I have some like truly awful news. And then something else that happened during the awful news that is like making the experience even worse. But I'm going to finish my thought with the pumpkin pie blizzard. They also had a a pecan pie blizzard a couple years ago that never came back because I guess I wasn't ordering it enough. One a day from September to November was not enough for them, I guess. There must have been literally no one else buying it, but we can stick with a pumpkin pie blizzard. It has like actual chunks of pie crust, chunks of pumpkin, the pumpkin seasoning thing on top. So good. I recommend everyone buy it. And then call your local senator to see if we can reinforce the pecan pie blizzard. But the terrible experience that I had, we kind of have to flip back to summer a little bit, even though this was a couple days ago. But it was like a couple hours before I bought the candy corn, which I think really was the kickoff of the fall season. So this was like the tail end of summer, August 7th or whatever day that was. I was in another country. I was out of town for literally 2 hours because I went to the States. And I got a cone from McDonald's. And I started eating it. First off, I was shocked that the machine was working. The machine is always broken. And I've always heard how good McDonald's soft serve is. And I agree with that. At least the soft serve in Canada is like top tier. But I had heard other people talk about the American soft serve in a similar light. So I'm like, oh, this is for sure the same stuff. Like, we're all in agreement. It's the best. It's the best soft serve. Perfect. I get this cone from McDonald's in the States. It was the grossest. I don't know if it was because I had just had like a cone from here fairly recently that I remembered what the taste was, but it was the most watery, like metallic. I had this like taste of metal in my mouth that I didn't really realize was from the ice cream. Again, because I think I had a Canadian McDonald's soft serve cone like the day before or something. You know, one a day keeps the doctor away. It was like a weird sensory mix-up of like, I'm holding something, it has the same like piece of paper wrapped around the bottom of the cone that's like attached with some glue that I've definitely has, shortened my lifespan because I just eat the glue right off of the cone. That's got to be like a sugar water or something because they can't be serving its glue, but that's besides the point. Like, it looked like a Canadian cone, but then tasted like watery metal. And I blamed myself. This cone was straight up gaslighting me. I was like, it's my fault. Like, I was trying to remember, like, from science class, like, what disease makes your mouth taste like metal. I was, like, about to diagnose myself with something or other. I was like, no, like, maybe it's me. Like, maybe I'm having some sort of, like, a medical crisis. No, it was just the grossest ice cream ever. I finally get past... And here's the thing. Like, I still ate it. I'm never going to say no to an ice cream cone. It just wasn't up to par with what I was used to getting from McDonald's in Canada. But I was like, okay, whatever. This is America. They do stuff differently. Like, I have to get with it. Then I go to bite down into my cone and I look and there is a piece of that paper wrapped like inside the cone. It was the strangest thing. I really can't like explain it, but it was like, you know how, like, pretend there's no ice cream on the cone. There's the paper wrapped around the cone that you hold. It's like a blue whatever the heck. It used to have the McDonald's logo on it. I don't believe it does anymore. And then I bit the top part of the cone, like the cone part of the cone. And there was ice cream there was paper like baked into the cone as well. I was like, what? I was like, is this part of the experience? Is this what's making it taste like metal? I was like, well, maybe I was poisoned. And then I was like, well, is this like a Willy Wonka thing? Like, am I getting a free trip? Am I now the owner of the McDonald's US ice cream plant? Because as great as that sounds, I don't think I want that job. I'm sure all it is like complaints about the machines being broken. So I don't know. I don't know what happened. And it's just like, out of all the people why do bad things happen to good people? You know, out of all the people that could have gotten that, it had to be me. After I was already having a negative experience with the cone. Oh, and they didn't have dipped cones. I was always thinking in the States they had dipped cones. They were living in some utopia where you could go and get like chocolate on your ice cream cone at McDonald's. They didn't have that. They didn't have such a thing. So I don't know. I mean, still a fan of the brand, but I just like... And the same experience happened with Wendy's, which, P.S., to merge these two topics, I heard they're doing a pumpkin spice Frosty, which I will definitely be participating in. But it's like, I had the strawberry Frosty last year from, again, America, and it tasted like, Like, I don't know if it's just something with the cows over there. I don't know if there's actually no dairy at all, and all of this, dairy, in quotes, products that I'm talking about, but I don't know, dude. It was not where it needed to be, but that's okay. I mean, sometimes I'm not where I need to be. Okay, back to fall. This episode is in no way in order, but I'm remembering the things that I half bring up and then want to get back to. Speaking of fall menu items, there is a business that I have raved about, and will continue to. They sell donuts. They are not crispy, but they are supposed to be. They spell things with K's. Krispy Kreme. And if anyone doesn't know what I'm talking about, Google, you ever had a Krispy Kreme? It's this video of this older woman who I hope is just living a great life. She's like, someone's recording her. And I always wonder, like, when you see these little clips that like go viral or whatever, like, I want to see the full video. I want to see how it started, like that whole video of the little girl going, I think I know more about American Girl dolls than you do, genius. Like, I want to know why did they start recording? Show me the footage of before and after, because I'm sure she said like other funny things. Like, I just want to know the origin of the whole thing. But yeah, Google the video of, you ever had a Krispy Kreme? And then the person filming goes, yeah. And she goes, was it crispy? Again, person filming, no. And then she goes, right. So I don't know. I don't really know what point she was trying to make, but point made. I was like, oh my gosh, this woman for president. She's like thinking outside the box here. But Krispy Kreme does this wild thing where they bring back their pumpkin spice donuts, like the very beginning of August, like August 7th. And it runs for about 3 weeks. And by August 29th, if you go there and ask for a pumpkin spice, anything, they don't have it. It's gone. Like, they have 3 different types of pumpkin donuts from the beginning of August to the end of August, and then they're done. Because last year, I didn't get them because I was thinking, oh, this is like a preview. Like, you probably have to have the app. Like, these businesses are wild, making us all download their apps, like, accept their terms of stealing our data, all that stuff. So I was like, you know what? I don't really need it in August, but, like, when it comes back in October, like, let me go. That didn't happen. I'm pretty sure they were doing Christmas in October. Costco and Krispy Kreme know something we don't. Because all of their stuff comes out, like, months in advance, and then it's just gone. Actually, I went to Costco recently, and I didn't see the Christmas trees, so I'm getting kind of worried. They might have all sold out. Big yikes, but that's okay. I also think that the fall is a great season for reading. I have read, I think, 30-something books this year, and I don't know if that means I'm, like, doing great and, like, being so studious and, like, an intellectual, or if it's a cry for help. I really don't know. I think I read, like, 9 books in July, 8 or 9 books in July. Like, for what? I was talking about how last week I got or like a month ago, but I think I was talking about it on the last episode, how I got a e-reader. what I love that it does is I have the app on my phone. I'll finish a book, and then like a day or two later, it will send me an alert saying, you finished your book, with like a bunch of clapping emojis. Isn't that nice? It's like, you did it, Joe. So sweet. Because finishing a book, it's a big deal to finish a book. What I love about, this is not an ad, but what I love about my Kobo, I prefer to call it Kobo, is it says at the bottom, like, how many hours it will take you to finish the book. And I basically look at that the way some people look at the GPS when it says, like, you're going to arrive at 8:27, and they just start speeding so that they can arrive by 8:26, like they're trying to beat it, like it's like a challenge. I think of that the same way as the Kobo hours left. To the point where sometimes I realize, like, oh, I was just turning pages and wasn't really realizing what I was reading, so I have to go back, and then it makes me go longer. There's nothing worse than reading, and then I'll flip the page, and then instead of going from like 3.7 hours left, it'll go to like 3.8 hours left. It's like too slow, faster. But anyway, yeah, I'm gonna be really honest, I'm sweating. It's supposed to be fall. I'm talking about how it's the fall episode, how it's finally fall, and I'm in my car because again, I was in the studio, but they're just doing so much constructing and stuff, but now I'm sweating, and I'm really starting to wonder if I put on deodorant today. Let's see. I think I did. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I did. I should do, is there pumpkin spice deodorant? I'm Googling that. There's gotta be, right? Pumpkin spice, there's pumpkin spice water deodorant. There's two words I'll never be able to spell in my life. Deodorant and diarrhea. Both are which of things that are very relevant to me. Yeah, there is pumpkin spice deodorant, but not like from any of the, channels you would think. Anyway, let's just do a quick Google of when we think the Starbucks pumpkin spice lattes are coming back. Starbucks pumpkin spice. This has really been such a multitasking episode. Oh, speaking of, I am going to continue to do my plea. I realized a couple weeks ago, like when I'm complaining in December about the eggnog or gingerbread latte not being a part of the lineup, it's like kind of too late. There's something they can do for me at that point. But if I start, complaining about it now, as opposed sooner rather than later, then maybe there's something they can do about it. So if you or anyone you know works for, has any pull in the Starbucks industries, please just send them a quick text. Okay, pull out your phone, go to your contacts, find, I don't care if it's your uncle, your godfather that you think might be your godfather, but like you can't really remember, your aunt, a teacher, a former teacher, maybe do email if that's the case, whatever the best way to contact this person would be, and just let them know you would like them to pull whatever they have to pull to get the gingerbread and or eggnog latte back. I did some soul searching about this. I really don't think there's one I would prefer more than the other. I mean, preferably both, but if it's only one, like whatever's easier for them to bring back is totally fine. But this is kind of, it's gone a little too far. When the 2020 year happened, did we have it? The 2020 year? No, the COVID year we did have gingerbread and eggnog. And then the 2021 year, we did not have the gingerbread and eggnog latte. And I took it like a champ that year. I was like, you know what? We're coming off of, it's been some rough times. The supply chain was like top of mind. People were, very, intensely defensive of, the supply chain or whatever. I didn't use the right term there, but you know what I mean? Like, I understood. Last year, we were in a bit better shape. We had the Omicron at the beginning of the year, but by December, it was like almost a year from then that it was like a problem. So I was like, okay, let's see. Still got nothing. But 2023, knock on wood, I feel like it's been better. I haven't heard too much like supply chain noise. If they don't have the gingerbread or eggnog latte, I'm going to be a little less understanding. Okay? Because last year, I read off the 17 different types of syrups that they do have. So if they're not having a problem getting vanilla, toasted vanilla, French vanilla, they literally have 3 different types of vanilla. They have brown sugar, they have cinnamon, they have toffee nut, they have hazelnut. Like, all of these syrups that taste the same. If they can't put one box of gingerbread on the same truck that has the 3 different types of vanilla, I'm not really going to do anything, but I'm going to be sad. Okay? I'm not going to be mad, I'm going to be disappointed. Because again, when you gave us the excuse of supply chain, totally fine, out of your control. It's not the mermaid's fault. I mean, again, their logo is a mermaid, so she probably could just swim the gingerbread over, but that's fine. Okay. We're coming out of the pandemic, understand. Last year was still a little bit pandemic-y, sure. This year, the excuse is running out, okay? So either find a new excuse that I can, nitpick and give me 10 minutes of content for a future episode, or just bring it back. Just bring it back. Even, like, one bottle just, like, have it in the back for me. What if I outsource and bring my own bottle of gingerbread syrup, and then I just go to the same Starbucks every day and say, oh, can you just use my bottle? Yikes. I might have to outsource my own gingerbread. Because then I could just get a regular latte, put gingerbread, and then just stir. Why hadn't I thought of that before? Anyway, before I get too far into Christmas, I think we should call it here, but I want to thank everyone for listening. I think this is the first episode where I went just straight through. I don't think I ever stopped, which is either concerning or is good. I don't know. It's a matter of perspective. But yeah, I hope everyone enjoys the first day of fall. I hope everybody has luck with the outfit that they wore. I hope you didn't lean too far into fall to the point where you're sweating, or too far into summer to the point where you're getting rained on. I hope it's just right, Goldilocks. And yeah, we will see you. Oh, I forgot to do the whole spiel. You can find us at podcast.nobodyaskforthis.podbean.com. There's about a 6-month period of the podcast where I was saying the wrong website, but again, luckily no one listens to this, so it didn't matter. Especially the end of this. No one's getting 32 minutes in. You can also find us on Facebook, Twitter, X. Where else? TikTok. Been well over a year since we posted, but you know what I mean. And yeah. I hope you have a great day, a great fall, make some soup, butternut squash, and go to a pumpkin patch. Reserve your spot at the pumpkin patch. And we'll eat some candy corn. And I'll see you next time. Bye.